And now we will learn how to put on expense and vendors into your minimum QuickBooks file. Expenses are the things you pay for. They're the things you need to pay for to run your business. The vendors are the people or the companies whom you pay. For example, FedEx and UPS are the people. They are the businesses whom you pay for the service that you need, and delivery expense is the service. So FedEx and UPS are the vendors. Delivery expense is the expense account that you record the transactions every time you get a delivery. This is the list of Holden's expenses and the corresponding vendor who provide the service or the product for that expense. We are going to put them both in two separate windows, but I put them together in one video to clearly explain the difference between them. Right now, we will just put the expenses in the chart of accounts. Let's take a look at how to do that. Now, it will save us time just to click from the icon bar to open the chart of accounts. And we learned in a prior video to put in new accounts, we click Account New. Now, in this case, all of these accounts will be expense. And then we will click Continue, and we will proceed with the Add New Account window. We can just read them off the list: delivery, advertising, and electricity. Make sure for each of these the expense type of account is chosen. Let's click in the account field name and put delivery. Then click Save and New, and delivery expense was added to the chart of accounts. The next one is advertising. Advertising with a G. Good. Save and New, and now you can see advertising expense has been added to the chart of accounts. We also have electric, telephone, and repair. Electric. Save and New. Notice the expense type of account stays there. Telephone. Save and New. Repair. Save and New. What else do we have? We have supplies expense, bank fees, and office rent. Supplies expense. Save and New. Bank fees. Save and New. And office rent. Now, because this is the last one, we can click Save and Close. Let's stretch open the chart of accounts, and now we can see all of the expenses that Holden needs to pay for are on the expense list in the chart of accounts. Now, here are the list of vendors, but we don't put the vendors in the chart of accounts. The vendors go in a special place called the Vendor Center. From the main menu, actually we can go ahead and close the chart of accounts, go to the main menu and click Vendor, Vendor Center. Notice there are no vendors on the list. From the top left of the Vendor Center, click New Vendor, New Vendor. Now, we could put the information for each vendor in a window like this. And if we do that, we would put it in, for example, the first one, UPS. So let's say, for example, we would type the name UPS, and then over here we would put their address, over here we would put their phone number, and this would be like a little Rolodex or a little database for each vendor. When we click OK, we can see that each vendor will be listed here, and we can double-click back on the name to change their phone number or to find their address or whatever we need to do. There is a faster way if you're putting in many vendors at once. You can do this. New vendor, add multiple vendors. Now, in our case, we are only putting in the name. So, because we don't really need, remember, we want to put the minimum amount of information just to be able to do the books, to be able to file the taxes. So we really don't need address and phone number of vendors. You might need that to manage your business, but this file is not for managing your business. It's just the minimum we need to put in to be able to file taxes. So again, how do we open up this window? From the top left of the Vendor Center, click New Vendor, Add Multiple Vendors, and just read the name. FedEx, J&R Ad Firm, and Con Edison. FedEx, click here, J&R Ad Firm, click here, Con Edison and AT&T and Verizon. Con Edison, AT&T, Verizon, and how many more do we have left? Rex Repair, Staples, and Chase Bank. Rex Repair, click here, Staples, click under that, Chase Bank, and who else is left? Well, T&M Bank and Mary the Landlord. T&M Bank, we'll click here for Mary the Landlord. And actually I forgot to put Capital One on the vendor list. Capital One is both an account and a vendor because when we pay them, we need to put in the payee field whom we paid. So let's also add Capital One. Click Save the Changes, and then click OK. We can close the Add Multiple Vendor list, and notice now our Vendor Center has every single payee that we could possibly need as we record our transactions. Don't forget, we can close the Vendor Center from the top right, and we can reopen it by clicking Vendor, Vendor Center. In the future, we will record many checks to these different vendors. And in the future, when you click on a vendor in this Vendor Center, you will see all of the transactions for that specific vendor. In fact, the Vendor Center is so handy, I think we should add it to the icon bar. From the main menu, click Vendor, from the main menu, click View, and add Vendor Center to the icon bar. Click OK, and here it is. In the future, when you need to open it up, just click right from the icon bar, and then you can click on the vendor whose transactions you would like to see.